Cool. This is David,
This is Chris.
and this is the Realtor Daddy podcast. Welcome back, Chris.
Hey, so it is the fifth episode?
Oh, yeah, you're right. This is
Yeah,
episode
yeah.
5.
So
Wow.
that means we've been doing this consistently for 5 weeks. How do you feel, dude? What do you feel about it?
I feel pretty good about it, to be honest. I feel like through these podcasts, I'm able to have a lot more conversations now
Oh,
with
nice.
my followers, especially on my personal page. So I think that's pretty cool. Like, a lot of people are sort of reaching out to me, talking to me about stuff. And it sort of, I think it helps my business a little bit because it helps me, like, stay on top of mine. But also, like, I like to kind of use this as like a cathartic thing almost to, talking about our feelings and what we're going through at the same time. And apparently it resonates with a lot of my audience too. So
Yeah.
I think it's great. Yeah. How do you
Yes,
feel about it?
especially since I feel good. Especially since like all our friends around us are having families and they're
Yeah.
in that stage of, should I have a family if they don't have, or should I have a baby or not? So yeah, definitely easy conversations. I've gotten a lot of love for just posting my fatherhood journey.
Dude,
Yeah.
I love your videos lately.
Oh, thanks,
Like
dude.
there's so much fun to watch, but it also like really it helps peel back all those layers and really shows who you are as a person, as a father, as a husband. Like I think it's so cool and it's so relatable too.
Awesome.
Like, and I hope our audience kind of can get that vibe from us too, that we're just trying to be normal people, that we go through all these things, just like how everybody does,
Yeah.
right? And I think for our viewers out there who are like maybe on the fence about having kids or worried about if they can make it or not, like, dude, we're still trying to figure shit out, right? But we did it anyway,
Yeah,
you know?
for real. Like
Yeah,
as we always say, not ready. Like I don't think you'll ever be ready.
yeah, absolutely,
Like even mentally ready. Like it's such a whoa, what the fuck is this kind of thing?
right?
But a beautiful kind of
Yeah,
like what the yeah. Yeah, it's doing great, and we're gonna continue because it's just getting the attention that we wanted.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, thanks everybody for watching and listening to us and tuning in. We're glad it's resonating with a lot of you, and we're thankful for your viewership and your friendship. So please continue supporting us. We really appreciate it.
Thank you, thank you, dude. I saw like on our insights that we had something like 18K views.
Are we really at
Yeah,
18,000
like
views?
it was some big number like that, like
Oh, that's so
enough
awesome.
for me to be like, whoa, what the fuck? We don't even have a lot of followers. Like we
Yeah,
have
we don't.
66 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's crazy to pull that kind of viewership. It's pretty awesome. So
yeah,
I'm glad that we're resonating with people and we're reaching the proper people that want to listen to what we're actually talking about.
yeah,
That's pretty cool. I think my biggest fear going into this podcast too was just like, do people really care what we have to say?
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, like, are we wasting our time here? Like, are our wives gonna like disown us because we're wasting our time doing this podcast? You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah,
but it's so cool, like to see that analytic and yeah, like 18,000 views or was
yeah,
it 18,000?
yeah. On Instagram.
Yeah, like that's so awesome.
Yeah, our YouTube is so, but like we're still getting the messages
Yeah,
across, and we're just gonna build this as long as it takes, man. Like I think it's valuable, especially since people don't. I feel like people are less transparent nowadays with their content. They want to like show this amazing figure, like perfect caricatured, like curated,
yeah,
like version of themselves, and I think we bring that authenticity to the marketplace, especially with AI, dude.
oh yeah, 1,000%. Yeah, in a world where everything is just so like curated and airbrushed and like planned out.
Yeah,
I love that we're able to share our story through this platform and just be authentic and just be ourselves.
yeah, yeah. Usually it's like, what do you want to talk about today? Oh, let's talk about this, and
Yeah,
it's like really unstructured and
Yeah, and this is all unscripted. Like we don't spend any time thinking over what we're actually gonna say.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
this is really just kind of off the cuff.
So what you're getting is raw, real daddy, realtor, entrepreneur life.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, so we wanted to share a few things today. My wife and daughter, they left for Japan
Yeah,
because I told them, wait, let's back up. So being a parent is stressful.
no joke.
And
Yep.
you don't have much time of your day to do anything. There's cleaning, there's feeding, there's trying to console if they're crying. There's just so many things like from 5 a.m. to whenever they sleep, and
Yeah,
even when they're sleeping, it's just a whole thing, right? So with this in mind, like I found it very hard to focus on my work.
yeah,
And Yuki was also feeling a little homesick. She's from Japan, so I thought that it was a good. Well, I was going to Japan anyways, so I thought it was good for her to like go ahead of me, like a few weeks. So I was like, okay, go to Japan. Like get help from your mom, which is super important. Like the parental support. It's just me and her, and baby because we live in our parents' house. So my parents are on the mainland, and they love their life there. So they didn't come back. But basically, we're kind of sacrificing like time together as a family, and I sometimes feel like, oh, was it a good decision to kind of separate my family in the first year of her life? But I think now I think it's good because I can fully commit to work. Um, I'm the only one working right now, so I really need to like pull in results before the year ends or
yeah.
when the year opens. So that's what we did. Like 30 days away. I'm super focused. I'm well rested. I'm really sharp. Yeah, it feels great, but I really really miss them.
Yeah, no, dude, I can't imagine how that feels. Like I haven't ever spent any time away from Nee and Parker like yet. I've spent some time away from Nee a little bit, but I can kind of imagine that how it would feel like. It probably feels like tenfold, like just how much you miss them.
Yeah,
Like
yeah, dude.
last year when Nee and I had gone to Vietnam, I decided to come back early because I was like, hey, I can't stay here for a month. I gotta make sure I get some work done.
Yeah.
So I came back early, and then she was there for like an additional 2 weeks. But those 2 weeks that I was there without her, I was like, man, I'm miserable. I
Yeah.
hate this, you know?
You're always looking at your phone and
Yeah,
pictures and stuff.
and it sucks because we were in different time zones too.
Yeah.
So, and then like I think for me, I have a lot of trouble sleeping when I come back from trips anyway.
Yeah.
But the fact that like we had spent years just sleeping together like side by side, and then now I had these 2 weeks where her side of the bed was empty. I was like, oh man, this is really shitty.
Yeah. No
Yeah,
baby.
yeah. Maybe I'm no baby yet,
uh,
but man, yeah, that was it was a rough time, I gotta say.
yeah.
But I mean, kudos to you, man, for like having that discipline to be like, hey, I need to just take these next 30 days to really get things going and set yourself up. So yeah, props to you, man. I don't know if I would have enough discipline to do that myself, but man, good on you. More power to you, bro.
Yeah, I mean, it's a sacrifice, right? Like whatever we do right now, it's just gonna pay later. And Yuki and baby's really happy. Like there's a lot of things to do. Yuki's like eating the food that she wants. Mom's cooking for her. She can like meet her friends and
Yeah.
but yeah, I'm just here. I'm just here working. But it's all for the end game, right? Like whatever I do now, it's
Yeah,
gonna pay back later.
absolutely. No, I love that. That kind of brings into mind like this one of my favorite quotes, and it's the life that you've always dreamed of lies behind the work that you've been avoiding,
Oh man.
right? I love that quote. And I think Chris really lives up to that too, because he has that discipline to just be like, you know what, I'm gonna not go to Japan for 30 days and just stay behind, make myself uncomfortable to put myself 10 steps ahead,
Yeah.
you know?
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's
so
exactly.
man, props to you.
And we're putting ourselves out there like in front of many thousands of people, right? Like
Yeah,
I haven't really done like YouTube or Instagram or be like, "Oh, you did YouTube, right?"
for a little bit, yeah,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
little while. We had like a little food channel with my ex, but yeah,
Yeah, and that's the uncomfortable thing, right? Like just being in front of people. So that was the work that I was avoiding, like just being on Instagram a lot and being vulnerable, I guess.
yeah, no, for sure. And I don't know about you, man, but I hate being in front of a camera. I hate the way my voice sounds on a recording.
Yep.
I especially hate editing the video and hearing myself talk again,
Yeah.
But hey, I mean, I love this opportunity that we've created for ourselves and this ability to reach all these people who really like our what we're saying and our message, right? And we could have just avoided doing all that, and just decided, oh, we'll just stay behind a computer screen and
Yeah.
just work on our couch or something, watch
Yeah.
Netflix or whatever. But we wanted to put ourselves out there and get our message across, and hopefully touch some lives, change some lives too. So, yeah, I'm glad we did it.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
I'm super glad, and yeah, just the biggest regret the past, I think, about 7 years of starting business. The biggest regret was not doing this earlier, like going on Instagram, showing your face, showing more of the personal side, not the salesy, like, hey, buy my product. It's super cool. Like, I wish I grew my audience. So that was the work that I was avoiding, like
yeah.
connecting to that quote.
No, I hear you. I wish we were more of like one of those early adopters of like video and stuff for social media.
Yeah.
And like, man, I hate to admit it, but I would say like when I started real estate, there were already people on Instagram and stuff saying, "Hey, you need to start doing video." I was like, I don't need to do video.
Yeah.
It's fine. We don't have to. And then I've noticed that like the people that really adopted video and really went all in into social media early on, they're the ones that are really succeeding,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? So like, man, I feel like I sort of missed out on it a little bit. Um, but hey, like better late than never, right? We
Yeah.
we started. We're gonna be consistent about it, and we'll get through it.
Yeah. I don't think we're too late too, because there's just like so much upside in like viewership. Like imagine more countries start adopting like, or they have access to cell phones, right? Like the third world countries and
Yeah,
stuff. There's still like a big market to capture, and yeah.
it is really amazing, like the reach that social media has.
Yeah.
I've had some videos that have gone viral on my Instagram page.
Dude, yeah, talk
Um,
about that. Yeah,
it's crazy.
dude,
I
that's
I
nuts.
got really bored one day and I was like, you know what, I want to make some dad content.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
my very first video that I made was I think it's at 10.3 million views now or something.
Oh,
Insane, completely insane.
that's
But all it
nuts.
was I think it's a cutscene from 300. I don't remember which movie exactly, but it was Xerxes. He was walking out of this room, and then this I forget what the name of the character was, but Eva Green is the actress, and she's just kind of like looking at him with like these eyes that like she kind of wants to kill him, but she's also like madly in love with the guy. I don't know exactly the backstory, but the caption was like, "Oh, as Xerxes is walking out of the room, I wrote how dads feel when they finally put baby to bed after mom complained about how hard it was." And man, it was really crazy because like I just posted it not thinking it would do anything. That first night I got like 1,000 views and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like this is my best performing video ever.
Wow.
And I went to sleep. The next day I was like, oh shit, it hit 100,000.
Dude, nice. And
And then
your
yeah, and
notifications.
my notifications were like just blowing up the whole night.
Wow.
And then within a week, I think I'd hit 1 million views, and I was like, no way. And then it just kept growing and growing, and then now it's like,
Dude.
10.2 or 10.3.
Yeah, yeah.
But when I look at the analytics, it's crazy because like the reach that that video had. I mean, it was reaching parts of like China and like
Wow.
Vietnam, Australia, the UK. Um, like it was everywhere. I
Yeah,
was like,
yeah,
man, this
yeah.
is so cool, and just posting that one video, people started following me. So when I started going into social media, I had like maybe 3,500 followers,
Yeah, yeah.
and then I think when I posted that video, I think it was back in like June or something of this year. And then fast forward to today, my account's at like 6,500.
Dude,
So it's almost doubled.
nice.
Yeah, and it's amazing. Like just doing that video, and then I've noticed that like when you kind of post sort of controversial
Yeah, yeah.
videos, that's what gets people really engaged.
Dude, I saw the comments and they're like, a lot of
Yeah,
moms are like angry. A lot of
yeah. I'm
angry
like,
moms
I wasn't
and
even trying to do that though. It's just because it's funny. Like my point of view was like, oh, like celebrate me because I finally did something, but like you do this every day, so like it was meant more of like a joke, right? Like
yeah, yeah.
I completely appreciate what my wife has done, in order to raise our kid and everything. But it's kind of funny because it's like, admittedly, I don't do as much of like the parental duties,
Yeah, same
because
here.
I'm the one that has to work and stuff too. So when I finally do something, it's like, yes, celebrate me.
Yeah.
It was meant as a joke, but people took it real seriously, and like I
Dude.
gotta say, it brought out the worst of people sometimes. And like people are like fighting in the comments and
Yeah,
everything, and
yeah.
I'm like, it wasn't even that serious. This is just
Dude,
a thing I posted.
this is good for social media, man.
Yeah,
Like all those side there's like hundreds of side conversations in the comments that I saw.
yeah. It's really just taken on like a life of its own. Um, but it's great. Like just doing that, I've been able to have more conversations. More parents are like talking to me too, and these are parents that I've just never met in my entire life.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people are just from like the mainland U.S. talking to me, and like,
That's so cool,
yeah,
man.
it's really cool. And like I'm able to bring
Yeah.
real estate into it too because I posted from my Realtor page.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's pretty awesome. Like in that one viral video, I wanted to take advantage of that virality, and I posted this comment saying, "Hey, thanks for watching. If any of you are interested in like buying an Airbnb in Hawaii, click the link in my bio." And I got like 100 something leads
Oh,
from
wow,
from just doing
dude.
that. Out of the
Holy
10.3 million
shoot.
views that I got, it's nuts.
That's so
Yeah,
good. Dude, 10 million is an unfathomable number.
it's nuts.
Can
It's
you even
totally nuts.
imagine that much people in one area? Like,
I can't.
yeah,
Honestly,
dude.
I think 10 million probably exceeds the population of like Oahu, and actually, I'm kind of curious. What's the population of Hawaii?
I think as a total, it's like around 1 mil.
Is it
But
just a mill?
yeah, just,
Oh crap!
but
Yeah.
like
So it's
Oahu's like 900 something.
so I had like 10,
Yeah, there's 10
10
Oahu.
times our population seeing my videos. That's nuts.
Yeah, that's nuts, dude.
Wow.
Wow. Could you speak in front of that many people?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, that's the power of social media, dude.
Yeah.
It's like, imagine the 18K people that we reached. It might have been like a swipe or something, but they saw us, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the really cool thing too. And this kind of goes for realtors out there who maybe feel like they're struggling a little bit right now, especially during this sort of slower season in the year. And like during the holiday seasons, it does tend to get pretty slow for all the aspiring realtors out there, and for you too, Chris.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, but I've noticed that just from us telling our story through social media, we've been able to have more conversations with people, and just for myself too, I'm staying in touch with more people that normally I don't really interact with, but
Yeah,
because they're
yeah.
connecting through this platform, through the things that we're talking about, I'm able to have this conversation with people, and it's cool. I've noticed that especially for social media nowadays, a lot of realtors they like to focus on posting like these just solds, just listed,
Yeah, yeah.
under contract. Like nobody gives a shit
Yeah,
about that
for real,
anymore.
it's
No
like,
one
oh, that's
cares,
cool.
right? But when you
Okay.
post something about why you're doing something or the behind the scenes or
Yeah,
just telling a story, I've noticed those are the ones where people can actually connect.
yeah,
Those are the ones that like that's the kind of content that people really want to consume now.
yeah,
Yeah, it's easy for people to just hop on Google and look up statistics nowadays. Super easy. Even like these, like I used to make these videos saying like, oh, top 10 tips for a new home buyer, or this is the escrow process. Nobody cares. You can
yeah,
Google that already, right? But I've noticed that by telling our story through these podcasts that we're doing, we're connecting.
yeah,
You know, we're having conversations, and it's completely incredible.
yeah. I definitely, I'm super happy we stepped in this direction. And one comment that stuck out is I posted my reel, right? Friends commented. One thing that popped out was like, "This is so relatable,"
Yeah,
and that was like, "Wow, that's what I wanted." But like, we need to make that relatable content for people to connect to the real people who are. We're still people, right? Like, no matter how much success we have, we're just people.
yeah, absolutely. Love that.
Yeah. And it's nice to talk about failures too, because not many people are open about that.
Yeah, so I feel like with social media, a lot of times all you see are just people's wins, right? You don't
Yeah,
see a lot of the failures or even just the behind the scenes that led up to the big win that they post about, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like and you when you look at like couples online and stuff too, they post all their, really nice romantic things that they've done and their lives look completely perfect.
yeah,
And you know I've seen some like Instagram couples or YouTube couples or whatever, they finally break up and then all these things come out now about like, oh yeah, it wasn't all like glitz and glamour, all lovey-dovey stuff behind the scenes. They had real issues. So I love the fact that we can use this sort of platform to just be authentic and, you know celebrate our wins, but also talk about our failures and what we learn from them too.
I definitely feel that people do highlight too much of the positives. And even in the past, I've tried my best to be as genuine as possible, even talk about the parts of it. But at one point, I was like, "Am I being too negative?" There's just this pressure to be positive all
Yeah.
the time. But definitely, there's lessons to be learned. But sometimes, yeah, no one likes the negative. Like, I feel depressed today, and I guess people are scared of that.
Yeah,
But
I think that too. I think society sort of puts like a negative connotation to all of that too. Like you want to just portray like the best side of you and all that too. But
yeah,
there's definitely something to be said about being authentic and also talking about the failures too.
yeah,
And I think failures, because everybody goes through it, I think that's what is relatable. Like it's hard for me to relate to somebody that's just always winning all the time, right?
yeah, yeah,
Like for like realtors, for instance, right? I follow a lot of realtors on my Instagram, and sometimes it's like, man, I hate seeing it,
yeah, yeah. Like
because like
too
they're
much.
always posting about their wins, like, oh yeah, I just got this new listing, I just closed this escrow, I just got paid, I'm gonna fly to you know wherever
Yeah,
on first
yeah,
class. And I'm seeing that, I'm like, okay, but like what led up to that, right? Now it makes me have to look at myself and be like, man, what the fuck am I doing wrong?
yeah,
Why am
yeah,
I not
yeah.
closing these deals? Why didn't I get that listing? And
Dude.
it's like, man, it's so toxic, right?
Yeah,
And it sucks. And I know we shouldn't compare, but man, it happens. But yeah, I feel like posting about your failures too every once in a while
yeah,
kind of helps to bring that down a little bit. Keeps me humble for sure.
yeah.
But it also allows the people to connect better, I think. It
Dude.
makes you more relatable, more human. You're not just some robot selling homes out there. You're an actual person.
Yeah,
You're doing it for a reason, all that stuff.
exactly. And I wish people would post more of their story, right? Like, to be honest, before even considering real estate, I was like, man, there's a lot of glamour in real estate and being an agent. Well, there's different agents, right? But
Yeah.
like I'm talking about the top producers all fixed up like their headshots super beautiful and
Yeah,
like their
yeah.
lifestyle super beautiful, but like when you meet them in person it's like, "Oh, you're just a normal person."
Yeah.
And you have the same fears as me. You have social anxiety and yeah, it was interesting to kind of see that.
Yeah, for sure. I it kind of brings up like a memory of mine. Like me when I first met her, I guess she had made a promise to herself that she would never date a realtor too.
Are you
Yeah. So I was like, "Oh, how come?" And she's like, "You realtors are just all about like showing off your money and like,
uh,
you drive fancy cars and you dress all nice and your hair is all done and it's just so fake." And I'm like,
stereotype?
"Yeah, I know, but it's kind of true, right? Like that's the image that everybody wants to portray." But yeah, I don't know. It's just really funny. And then she ended up with me, a realtor.
I mean, dude, you were one of the realer realtors,
Oh, thanks, man.
like in my life.
Thank
Yeah, I
you.
knew you for like maybe about 5, 7 years between that. I was like, yeah, David's a bro, man. Like I know a lot of realtors, dude. Like, cause I shot photography for them, and yeah, there's like different types of realtors that flaunt. Um, I really like people who just show their social life and failures and just everything in between their family. And I think this is gonna be our way to connect to people.
Nice, man. Thank you for saying that. I
Yeah,
appreciate that.
bro.
Oh, actually, there was something I wanted to talk about. There's this quote that Chris had put up in his story lately, and I want to read it out.
Oh, yeah, that one.
I really love this. I actually took a screenshot of it on my phone because it just resonated so much with me. And it's playing it safe is the riskiest strategy. The biggest regret of people on their deathbeds isn't failing, it's not having the courage to live authentically. Imagine spending 80 years on this planet, following a script someone else wrote for you, only to realize you were a supporting character in your own life, right? Like, and then it goes on to say, fuck that. Go big, take the risk, chase the dream that keeps you up at night. If it fails, you've got a great story. But if it works, it changes everything. Regret stings more than failure ever will. And I love that, and I screenshotted it. I'm probably gonna make that my background on my phone.
Wow, dude.
But like, it's so crazy. I want to
Yeah,
break it down a little bit.
yeah.
The one that really stuck out to me was imagine spending 80 years on this planet, following a script, only to realize you were just a supporting character. Like, man, like I think this is why we are doing what we're doing as entrepreneurs, right? We want to create our own lifestyle. We want to be the boss of our own lives, right? We want to take over our destiny and create that lifestyle that we've always wanted, right? And it was so motivating reading that.
Yeah.
I read it and I think I saw it at like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, I was looking over at Neil, I was like, I gotta sell some homes. I gotta make another business. Like I don't want to be a supporting character. I
Yeah,
want to be the main character.
yeah, dude.
I need that main character energy now.
Fuck yeah,
You
dude.
know?
That gave me shivers, dude. Like it scares me to be like you wake up one day and like you're not living the life that you dreamt about, and
Yeah,
dude, that fucking scares me, dude.
dude, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it kind of ties into like this other quote that I read, and it was something like, "If you don't work on your own dreams, you'll be working on somebody else's dreams."
Yeah, yeah.
Right? It's oh man, that sends like shivers down my spine reading that. And no shame to anybody out there who's like doing a 9 to 5 kind of thing, but it's like I think for like Chris and I, we don't really want that life. We want more. We know that we can achieve a lot more.
Yeah.
We expect more of ourselves, and in order for us to achieve that more, right, we need to take risks and work on our dreams. We have big goals for ourselves and for our families, and to get there, we can't achieve that. We know that we can't achieve that working under a normal job,
Yeah.
you know. And
And continue doing the things that we're doing.
yeah, yeah, we have to be uncomfortable, and growth comes from being uncomfortable. Nobody ever got better by just sitting on the couch every day,
Yeah.
right? You don't achieve anything like that. But going out there, putting yourself out there, being in uncomfortable situations is how you grow.
Dude, fuck yeah. Like,
Yeah.
that's so important to be uncomfortable, have a little pressure. Like, if you're comfortable all the time, there's no growth in that. Like,
Yeah,
seriously,
absolutely.
like, everything in nature requires some stress or pressure. Like, uh, I like to relate it to this. Like, of course, diamonds, right? They need pressure to become diamonds.
Yeah.
But I saw a molting lobster. Have you ever seen that before?
Wait, where did you see a molting
It's
lobster?
like on YouTube or Instagram or
Oh,
something.
okay. I thought it was in person, but
No, no, no. And like it was like a molting lobster. It was like shedding its shell, and basically it's like super. It looks super painful. They're like squiggling around and
yeah,
like. But this is important to go through this pain in order to like get a harder shell. It's like a part of growing, and like I love learning lessons from nature because pain growth is painful. Working out is painful. You need to tear your muscles in
yeah,
order to grow muscles, and
yeah, yeah. No, I love that. That makes so much sense. It's just go out there and do stuff. And it's like Chris's quote said,
oh,
like
not
even
my
if
quote.
you, oh, well, the one that Chris posted,
Yeah.
it's like even if you fail, like you're gonna have a great story out of it. But imagine what's gonna happen if you actually succeed,
Yeah.
right? And I think it kind of works with like what we did, and we kind of went out on a limb here and started posting these podcasts. But it's like the people that actually care, it'll resonate with them, and the ones that don't really care, it's like whatever, like we're never gonna see them, we're never gonna meet them, right? Like I think, especially for me, I'm so caught up in like, oh, but what are people gonna think,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I've what I've realized going through this podcast with you, it's that people don't give a shit.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
don't give a shit what you do, honestly. So you can just do whatever you want, as long as it's legal,
Yeah.
and as long as it doesn't hurt anybody, like people don't care, and the ones that do will be the ones that actually resonate, and we can get our message across. So
Exactly, man.
yeah,
And it's like a natural filter, right? Like the person you are, you'll definitely have haters or people who don't like you.
yeah,
Like just naturally, just some people will hate my voice or the way I look. Who gives a fuck? Like this is my life, yo. Like I want to connect who I want to connect with, and I wouldn't want to connect with people who are jerks and assholes who judge based on I don't know appearance or whatever.
yeah. No, I hear you. I think I think we just spend too much time like trying to be people who we're not, and just trying to connect with every single person out
Yeah,
there. But
yeah,
at the end of the day, it's like it doesn't matter, because if you have to be faked in order to achieve that, what's the point?
yeah,
You're being so uncomfortable, being like inauthentic, right? And it's eventually it's gonna catch up to you too.
yeah.
Yeah,
Can't build your life based on lies, and
yeah,
that's what I'm scared of, dude. That like we're pretty ambitious, right? We want to succeed, and we will do anything and everything to get what we want. I'm afraid of like being someone I'm not and building my life around that.
yeah,
And in the end, just like, the fuck am I doing this for? Who am I? Like,
yeah, yeah,
that's what I'm scared of. But like, we're taking really big steps of being authentic by just expressing our fears, failures, everything positive and stuff.
yeah. I hear you, bro. I think that's like a really big fear of mine too. I don't want to be on my deathbed and have like these regrets too. So I want to be able to just look back at it and be like, yeah, you know what? I'm glad I took all those risks. You know, like I don't want to sit there 10 minutes before I'm about to die and be like, fuck, I should have done that.
Yeah,
I should have done this. I should have. There's so many things that I could have done. I don't want that. I want to be able to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm ready to go. I'm good.
Yeah.
I had a good life. I left a good legacy. You know, like, yeah, that's what I want. That's my goal, really.
Like you did the work in order to get what you wanted.
Yeah, like I want to be able to say I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I tried it. No regrets. Take me now.
Dude, I have a question. What is your biggest thing that you need to work on moving into 2025? Like the work that you're avoiding, we're bringing this all into circle.
Ooh,
Work
oh
you're
man,
avoiding, things that you want to work on,
the
and
work that I've been avoiding. And he's gonna hate this.
what is it? What is it?
I think what I want to do is be more consistent with. I think work wise, I want to be more consistent with my real estate stuff. I want to make more calls, have more conversations with people, and really just kind of go all in on social media and connect with
Yes.
people.
Same here.
I think I spent so many years just avoiding doing that because of my fear of the camera, right? So I really just want to go all in on it. And I guarantee I totally see returns on that. And I think in my personal life, like I want to work out. That's like a part that I've also been avoiding, you know, because it's super comfortable just sitting on the couch all day and like eating and snacking all your stuff. But like, man, it's like what it's done to my body. I absolutely hate it. You know, I want to be around for my family for as long as possible. And I'm not going to be able to achieve that by just sitting around the couch all day. You know, I gotta work out and just be better.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah. So I guess it's kind of like a New Year's resolution almost too. But
But the good thing is
yeah.
that we're gonna start before everyone starts.
Yeah, yeah, get a head start. Like, you know, you're never gonna regret it.
Yeah.
So, Chris, what is the work that you've been avoiding that you wanna take care of to achieve your dreams?
Yeah, there's so many. There's so many things, but one is public speaking, like this, what we're doing right now. But I want to work on my articulation. Sometimes I trip on words, and sometimes I can't formulate the sentences that I want. And I have a strong belief that once you start being articulate and sharing yourself to the world, that's when you can have true influence on people.
Mm,
And
love that.
yeah, a lot of leaders have good articulation. Um, but one thing that's really good is that uh, I'm pretty good at writing because I've been doing it for a long time, and I was a writing tutor in college. From that, they're like writers usually become good speakers if they practice it, and that's what I want to practice. Just moving my writing into spoken form to articulate my ideas, thoughts, and
Yeah.
things
Oh, I
easy.
like that. Yeah. I do agree. You're like a really, really great writer. Like I love reading the captions that are on your stories and the reels that you've been posting. It's like your spacing and your word choice is just like really spot on. Like it like elicits like a really like emotional response
Oh,
from
thanks,
me. Like
dude.
I love it. Like I read it and I get chills sometimes.
Oh,
And it's like I'm able
wow.
to connect with you through your words and it's pretty cool.
Wow, thanks,
Yeah.
man. Like I really take a long time to
I can
write things.
tell.
Yeah, I take a long
Yeah.
time. But it's yeah, it's all part of the process. Just vomiting everything out, editing it like many times, and bringing out it out to the world. But I hope to work on my speaking skills. That's what I want. And this is one of the goals I had for this podcast. When you're like, let's make a podcast, I was like, ugh, I tried that, but it didn't work for me. But now I'm like, we have more I have more purpose with this. Like, it's a part of my journey and real estate goals and stuff. So articulation, being a public speaker, and also working out too. Like I think as dads, we need to be energetic for the next level of.
Yeah. Bro,
Yeah,
no
yeah,
joke, man. Like I don't know about you, but I got dad bod like
yeah.
real
Same
crazy.
here.
Like I don't want that. I want to be able to, like, when my son turns 21, I want to be able to hang out with him in Vegas, buy him his first legal drink.
Yeah.
Because I know he's probably going to drink before that. It's totally fine. But I want to, be able to hang with him. And when I finally have grandkids of my own, I want to be that active grandpa that takes my grandchild out, hangs out
Yeah.
with them, does all the cool stuff with them. I don't want to be the guy that's like a vegetable
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
wheelchair and, like,
All fat and like can't even move
yeah, I don't
and
want to be like that. I want to be active. I want to be there for as long as I can.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good motivation, man. And I think more I've always wanted to work out and stuff. Like I was always off and on, but like now as a dad, I'm like, yeah, I need to be alive as long as possible to see my daughter get married or like
Yeah.
be energetic to like even chase her around. Dude, I pulled my back while like 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 throwing her up in the air
Yeah.
the other day and like I'm still feeling it after 5 days and I'm like, fuck, I need to. Yeah, I'm mildly overweight. Probably like 20. No, no, that's actually a little. I'm overweight based on like U.S. standards. I need to drop like 20 pounds.
I think I'm overweight too. I know I'm overweight. Let's be real here. I am overweight. I think I need to lose, like, yeah, like 15 or 20 pounds to be okay again. But we'll get there, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll hold each other accountable and we'll get there.
Yeah, dude, let's do it. 20 pounds down next year. I'm
Yeah.
starting now though. Like I'm not eating rice and when Yuki left, I was like, okay, no rice, just like vegetables and a lot of protein, meats and stuff like that.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's good. I mean, it's gonna be hard coming into the holidays too, but I
Oh,
mean,
dude.
yeah, it's gonna be a little rough. But nah, we'll get through it.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Dude, I actually lost 10 pounds the past 3 months
How'd you do that?
fasting.
Oh,
I did
nice.
like a 3-day fast. It was
Oh,
so
that's
hard.
that's rough.
Yeah, it was so
That's
hard.
rough.
But I studied it a little. Like, you need your electrolytes, and I did like certain things to keep me satiated and stuff. And it's a mental game. I know people who do it for like 7, 10, 20 days, and yeah,
Oh,
it's
jeez.
nuts.
Were you able to keep it off though, or?
Yeah, yeah. It would be like this. So the graph was like, boom,
Oh,
and like
wow.
now it's plateaued.
Oh, nice.
I'll show you a graph.
You've kept it off though, like it's never come
Oh,
back. Like,
it's definitely like it comes back, but never to that point.
oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's like being conscious about it.
Mm.
Like oh, I had a shitty day where I ate like the whole pizza or something. I'd like cut back on other days and be
Yeah.
like, okay, yeah.
Oh
But
man.
definitely the rebound, it's possible to
Yeah.
rebound.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I gotta get on that.
It's hard to do it with the family though. Like especially since baby and mom is eating all the time.
Yeah, it is rough. I do owe a lot of it to Nee too. Like, I think prior to meeting her, my cooking was always very, like, heavy, very, like, I like making stuff that'll, like, really stick to your ribs. Like, you eat it and you'll stay full and satiated
Oh
for, like, a
yeah.
long time. Like, a lot of butters, a lot of fats, like a lot of salt, like really heavy stuff, like protein heavy.
Yeah.
It's great, for especially for a guy. Like, it's awesome. Who doesn't
Yeah.
want to eat like that? But after meeting her and living together too, I realized that, like, women's bodies are very different,
Yeah,
right?
dude.
They react differently to foods.
Uh-huh.
So I learned that, like, I can't feed me the same stuff that I'm eating
Yeah.
because, like, you know, fat is stored differently also on, like, the
Yeah.
female body versus, like, the male body too, right? So for her, like, she preferred lighter meals. Like, she likes veggies, more like stir fry stuff versus, like, heavy pastas and
Yeah.
stuff that I like to cook. So I had to, like, really change up my style, and I think it's because I had to switch up my cooking that I was able to keep a lot of the weight gain off too,
Oh,
because I
nice.
wasn't eating, like, terrible stuff all the time anymore. I was eating more vegetables.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, like I couldn't even make my spaghetti anymore. I love making my
Oh
spaghetti, and it's
man.
like a really thick, heavy, like meat sauce kind of thing. And then when I met her, it was like now my spaghetti is like super veggie heavy, a little bit of meat, and like I use fresh tomatoes instead of like tomato sauce.
Oh, serious? That's
Yeah, so
cool.
like
Wow.
it's completely. I don't even call it spaghetti anymore.
So
But
you're
like,
healthier
yeah,
overall.
definitely a little bit healthier now. And I owe a lot of it to
Definitely.
Nee, honestly. Without her, I probably would be like 250 pounds or something. You know.
Are your family members like overweight or?
No, they're all like actually very fit and healthy. I
Oh,
just
really?
I'm the one that's overweight.
My
I have a pretty unhealthy relationship with like food.
like I can gain weight really fast. And dude, I think when you first met me, I was 20 pounds lighter, maybe.
I think when you met me, I was probably 20 pounds lighter
Yeah,
too.
dude, we're the same on the same boat, bro. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna do it.
Yeah, we're gonna get there, man. We have to for ourselves and for our kids, our family. We have to.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude. Once I start living in town, we can run.
dude, that'd be nice.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and the wives can like be behind us or pushing the babies on strollers.
I was gonna suggest like, oh, we just strap the baby to us while we're running, but then I think like
Yeah,
that's
they'll
probably
be like.
immediate shaken baby syndrome. Like that's not good.
Any other failures or things that you want to work on?
Another thing I want to work on too is probably gonna be like just being able to talk to more people in general. I think I have like this innate fear of like being rejected.
Yeah,
Yeah, I hate rejection. So it like a lot of times it takes me a long time to get like comfortable with like making calls and stuff.
yeah,
Like I almost have to go through like this whole ritual in order to be prepared to pick up the phone and start making my calls. But I realized that after making like my first one or two calls that I immediately get comfortable already and I just make the calls afterwards, but I want to get better about that and just be okay with rejection,
yeah.
right? Yeah, I think that's one thing I really got to work on.
Calling and cold calling, it's not natural, dude.
It's not.
Like,
It's not.
like it's something you have to like really build up. And even if I did it in the past, like there's a regression. Like I'm still scared now to like pick up the phone and cold call, especially if it's like completely cold. Like the, it's always gonna be there, that fear of rejection. But I think we just need to do the reps, both of us, and
Yeah, yeah. Just build up that tough skin, and yeah, we'll get there.
yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, you know what helped, man? Like I used to go to clubs a lot and music festivals in Japan,
Yeah.
and I would like approach women, and they would reject me all the time, dude. And I think that's why I'd like to say that's why I'm a little used to rejection than other people, because I just tried so much times, and
Yeah.
like painful rejections too, or like
Okay, but yeah, I wanted to talk about the rejections that you've gone through a little bit too, and
yeah,
it's interesting that you bring that up because like I know on one of your latest reels that you posted, I think Yuki actually rejected you too.
yeah, yeah,
I was like, man, that's crazy, you know. But yeah, like after all those rejections, like I think you had posted that it's like, oh, you didn't give up though. Like you just kind of kept going at it, and then eventually, as she started opening up to you, and you know, you guys got to know each other, then you know, you realize that you guys relate and connect on a lot of things too, and I think that's super cool.
yeah.
Like, I thought it was really funny because like Nee also rejected me our first time too.
Oh, how?
Like
In what way?
well, because one, I was a realtor, right? So like
Oh,
she
that's
like
right.
told herself, oh, she's never gonna date a realtor, and she also didn't want to date anyone that was Chinese.
Oh,
She
what?
didn't like, I guess like the culture behind it, which is really funny to me because she's also half Chinese too.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah,
I get it though. Like I didn't want to date anyone Chinese either,
yeah,
so like it was interesting. And then Nee was also still in school, in college when we had met, and she also told me like, "Hey, I'm still in school. If you're still around after I graduate, then maybe, maybe.
Oh.
But until then, I'm not gonna give you the time of day." And I was like, "All right, challenge accepted."
Yeah, dude.
So eventually, like, she's the one that ended up asking me out.
Oh,
I was
serious,
like,
dude.
"Yes, I win."
So what was the steps to get to the yes?
Oh, so it was a long journey. So it took about like 2 3 months, I think.
Oh, wow.
We were just kind of chatting on Messenger, and I know she was studying really hard, because she was trying to finish up like this 2 year degree in 1 year. So she just combined all the credits into just 1 year. So she really had like no time for any kind of like personal or recreational activity at all. So I was like, huh, well, I know she has to study. Like, let me just, you know, throw out this like, hey, let's just go on like a study session together.
Oh,
Because
nice.
at the time I was studying for my broker exam,
Uh-huh.
so I was like, yeah, I'll just use this as an excuse to, hang out with you. So I was like, hey, I suggested, hey, let's I'll pick you up and then we'll go study at Starbucks. So eventually we just started studying together, and she legit actually studied. She wouldn't even like really talk to me. And I was like, man, this is
Wow.
kind of shitty. you know?
Like she was the quiet type
Yeah, I
at
mean, she
first.
she was like definitely the quiet type, because she was actually like legitimately studying. So I was like, okay, well, I should probably study too then. So I would study, and then during the study sessions, after like I think like a week of actually studying, I was like, hey, you know what? Are you hungry? Like, you want to go grab something to eat? Like, you must be starving. You were studying for like 4 hours, you know? So she's like,
Oh
oh yeah, that's a good
yeah.
idea. So I was like, yes, okay. So we would go to like Panda Express or something. We just share a plate, and then we would eat, and then we would go back to studying afterwards, and then I started suggesting like, hey, how about today? Like, let's go grab something to eat first, and then we'll go study. So we would do that for a little bit, and then afterwards, I'd be like, hey, you know what? Like, how about we just don't study today? Like, let's just take a break. Let's go hang out. Let's go
Yeah,
do
dude.
something. So we did that, and then our um eventually I started like inserting myself into her life,
That's
and
funny.
then eventually after 3 months of doing that, she eventually asked me to be her boyfriend. I was like,
Wow,
yes, I
dude.
win.
Dude, that's
And I brought
so
it up to her
cool.
afterwards too. I was like, you rejected me. You told me you were gonna wait till after you graduate, and now look at you. You asked me out.
Dude, you like dangled dangled
It was
the
really
goods.
funny. Yeah,
That's awesome, dude.
yeah.
So, was it hard to open up to each other at first, or was it always that way? Like, were you always open with her?
I was pretty open, like, from the beginning. I think with me, like, she really wanted to protect her peace a little bit, protect herself too. So she was a little more closed off.
Yeah.
And like, she is very goal focused, right? So for her, it was like, I felt it afterwards that she was sort of just kind of like using me in a way.
For
So like,
food or what?
just to like keep herself accountable to study,
Oh, I
to
see, I
have sort of
see.
a study buddy. And it was okay. I didn't mind at all. But you know, she was very closed off because she had that goal of getting her degree, and because she spent money to like take all those credits in that 1 year, like, she
Yeah,
was like very much, hey, I gotta just blinders on and just go for it.
yeah.
So I feel a little bit guilty for trying to insert myself into her life in
Oh,
that
dude.
moment, but it
If
worked out.
that didn't happen,
Yeah, like,
Parker would not be
yeah,
born. So,
yeah, it's crazy.
dude.
um but how was it for you and Yuki? Like, I know she had sort of rejected you in the beginning. Like, was it like a similar story? Like, how did you guys kind of get together after?
Yeah, so basically, we first met at a meeting, a company meeting in Osaka, and basically, she was the new girl, and I was like, oh, she's pretty cute. I think we went out to lunch after that meeting to get something from the convenience store, and I was like, you look like you're 18 or something. She took offense to that, so
Oh,
yeah,
really?
yeah. I was like, you look like you're 18, and she was like, she didn't like me at first. Like, she was like, this freaking brown boy just called me 18. She was really angry, like literally.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, that's how I joke. And yeah, but Eventually, a few months later, another meeting happened. I tried to invite her, didn't work. She went home to Nagoya, and basically, yeah, through the few months we kept in contact, I started asking her about like her hobbies and what she really loved, and she liked Hawaii too, so she would ask me about Hawaii and like life here, and yeah, that's where we hit it off. She came to Osaka. We went out to dinner, and then from there we just got closer and closer.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, but we're completely different. Like she doesn't drink, she doesn't party. I used to party a lot, and like
Oh, wow.
completely different. But I think if I didn't meet her, I would have died. Probably like over drinking or
Oh,
yeah.
man. I think I can safely say for the two of us, we really owe our lives to our wives.
Yeah,
Honestly,
yeah,
we I don't even know where we would be at if it weren't for them.
yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
they kept us sane and responsible.
Yeah,
They made honest men out of us for sure.
for real, dude. Completely different man. Which is I like the person who I am
Yeah,
today. I just wish I had more money, but we're working to that.
yeah,
But
yeah,
yeah,
for sure. Well, I think that's the end of this podcast,
yeah,
episode 5. I can't believe we're on episode 5. That's
I
crazy.
know.
Yeah. But yeah, thanks for everybody for tuning in. We really appreciate you guys listening, and hopefully you guys get value out of this, or just, that you guys enjoy hanging out with us and just talking shit and whatever. But
Thanks so much, guys.
episode 5, peace out.